Alright, so today we're going to be talking about how to get jacked while training like an athlete. Now, what I mean by training like an athlete is that your training is going to be performance-based. Your goal in training is going to be based around how you can be a more complete athlete at your sport and perform the tasks that you need in your sport. So, you're playing basketball, your goal is to be a better basketball player, play football, better football player. But your goal is never going to be the most jacked guy on the field unless your goal is bodybuilding. So with hypertrophy or getting jacked, that's always going to be a byproduct of your training. It's never going to be the primary focus. Now, if you look at the training hierarchy of needs, you have to improve things such and train for things such as skills, the capacity to do those skills repeatedly, speed, strength, and power. Those things are going to always be the primary focus of your training. Hypertrophy is always going to be a byproduct. So when you train for speed and skills and power and strength, you'll get bigger over time, but it's never going to be the primary focus, and you're never going to have the focus of, I just want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. However, understanding that there are ways to continue to get bigger and accentuate the hypertrophy gains while training like an athlete, so we're going to go over those. So there's three primary ways to continuously get jacked while training like an athlete. One's going to be add 1 to 2 sets of failure into that workout. 2 is going to be add some isolation single joint finishers at the end of your workout. And 3 is going to be giving your reps meaning. So we'll go over all three of these in depth. All right, so with the first tip, we're talking about adding 1 to 2 sets to failure into your workout. Not a lot of extra work, just 1 to 2 sets. Now, an example of what it's going to look like is going to be, say we're doing a workout for strength. So we're doing a lower body strength workout. Now, in our first tier, we're doing squats, supersetted with jumps. There's going to be focused on creating a lot of force. Then number 2 is going to be a posterior chain dominant movement. We're creating 4 single leg RDL and a flexor bridge. Then 3, our accessory is going to be a refeed, so a rear foot elevated split squat and a single leg bridge. So I get this workout done. My goal is strengthen this workout. Now, if I wanted to add 1 to 2 sets to failure to get a little bit more hypertrophy work, then I could add it to the end of my accessory work, where after I get done with 3 sets of 5 each, say I add 1 set of as many reps as possible for both this and for both C1 and C2. It's something this simple, but just adding 1 set of failure towards your accessory, 1 or 2 accessories, is going to drive a lot of that local fatigue and accentuate the hypertrophy gains that you get from your training while keeping the focus on the main things. Now, the second tip we have is just going to be adding an isolated finisher to the end of your workout. So looking at another example, say we had a workout where we're training for power, so we're doing an upper body power day. Our first tier is going to be a banded bench and a dumbbell row done with max intent. We're trying to drive power output, move the bar with max speed. Then we go into tier 2, B1 and B2. Again, push, press, bar speed, and chin-ups. Then we get to tier 3, C1 and C2. We have our push-up plyometric and then our overhead throw. So we're really focusing on speed, power, transferring a lot of force. What can we do here to continuously get some hypertrophy work in there? It's real simple. Just towards the end of your workout, you add a little finisher focused around isolated single joint work. So if I'm doing upper body, I may do a bicep curl supersetted with a tricep extension. And I do both of those things for, say, 3 sets of 12 to 20 reps. Now, when I'm doing these finishers, it's local. I'm doing a bicep curl and a tricep extension. None of this is going to create a lot of global fatigue to where I'm super tired. It's not going to do me any harm in my recovery process. All it's going to do is drive some more local fatigue in the biceps and triceps, in the arms, to make me look good and feel good. And we know with hypertrophy is made from creating local fatigue. Then the third and the final tip is to give your reps meaning. So what I mean by this is, as we mentioned earlier, hypertrophy is never really going to be the main focus of your training. You're going to be focused on other qualities like strength, power, capacity, things like that. But you can still maximize the amount of hypertrophy that you get from training those other qualities by giving your reps meaning. So if I'm trying to train for strength and I want to create the most tension and force possible, because we know that hypertrophy is a result of 1, maximal tension, or 2, maximal time under tension. If I want to create the most tension possible, I can use my strength work to strain against the bar as aggressively as I can and move these heavy loads with maximal acceleration to create a lot of muscular tension. So I'm giving my reps meaning, I'm maximizing the hypertrophy I get from it. 2, if I'm training power, again, give your reps meaning. Put maximal effort to move the bar as fast as you can to bias higher acceleration and create a lot of tension that way. Or 3, if I'm doing capacity or accessory work as a finisher, so say I'm doing a dumbbell roof elevated split squat as an accessory, give those reps meaning too. So you can do one of two things. You can do one, tempo it out, so go down really slow, increase the time under tension through that movement, and then create a lot of total time under tension to maximize the amount of hypertrophy that you get from it. Or two, move that weight up concentrically as fast as you can and maximize the tension. Even though we're not directly training for hypertrophy in any of these qualities that we're training, we can maximize the amount of hypertrophy that we get from it by giving those reps meaning the entire time. So in summary, 3 tips to continuously get jacked and maximize hypertrophy while still training like an athlete with your focus being performance-based. 1, add 2 sets to failure into your workout. So just create some more maximum muscular fatigue by allocating some of your work volume to M-rep work sets. 2, add isolation finishers. So add some single joint work to the end of your workout to maximize the amount of local fatigue that you get so you can get some hypertrophy gains while also minimizing the amount of global fatigue so you can still recover from this workout. And 3, give your reps meaning. So maximize the amount of hypertrophy you get as a byproduct of training other qualities. You can still get swole by training power, strength, and capacity and things as such if you give your reps meaning.